If you look at the total amount of trophies won by clubs in Italy, the 5 most successful clubs are Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Roma, and Lazio. But today, all that winning by those 5 clubs, it comes to an end. Because I went and deleted those 5 clubs from Serie A and relegated them to Serie B. Hold on a second. I know that the title says that we deleted 6 clubs. Well, that's because we added Napoli in there as well. They won last year, they have incredible players, and they're tied for 6th for the most trophies won in Italy anyway. So yeah, we deleted 6 clubs. Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, Lazio, Roma, and Napoli all play in Serie B. All of their players have been put into free agency and have been replaced by 60 to 62 rated nobodies from various leagues around the world. But Tsar, who is going to replace those 6 clubs in the top division? Glad you asked that. The 6 Italian giants are replaced by the 6 highest rated clubs that play in the 2nd division of Italy in Serie B. Palermo, Cremonese, Sampdoria, Parma, Pisa, and Spezia are the clubs that are getting promoted to Serie A. So for 10 full seasons, we're gonna find out who will be crowned the kings of Italian football, who will win the Coppa Italia, and most importantly, who is going to win the Champions League. Let's go to the end of season 1. Let the Italian games begin. Season 1 without the big 6 in Italy being present is over, and it was Fiorentina that won the league. Bergamo Calcio, aka Atalanta, 2nd, Udinese in 3rd, and Torino rounded off the top 4. And Fiorentina did the double. They won the Coppa Italia in season 1 also over Torino 3-1. And the Champions League without any big Italian giants had an all-English final in season 1. It was Man City over Liverpool. Man City won it 1-0. But how did the former top 6 in Italy do in the 2nd division of Italian football? Well, Napoli finished in 14th, Inter in 15th, AC Milan in 17th, Lazio in 18th, Juve in 19th, and Roma dead last. Let's go to season 2. I have a feeling we're gonna have a bunch of different winners if Fiorentina doesn't dominate. The 2nd season has come to an end in Italy, lads, and it was Atalanta is on top this time. Fiorentina in 2nd, Torino in 3rd, Sassuolo rounded off the top 4, and Bologna in 5th. And just like in season 1 when Fiorentina did the double, this time it was Atalanta that did the double. They won the Coppa Italia as well over Fiorentina. And the Champions League had a Spanish giant win it over a German giant. Barcelona over Bayern Munich 1-0. While in the 2nd division in Serie B, we had some of our former big 6 clubs actually make it into playoff. Yes, Inter, Juventus, and Napoli all made it into the playoff. Now, I wonder who is going to be the first one to get promoted. And the answer is none of them, because it was Bari that's getting promoted, and Inter went to the finals of the playoffs, the promotion playoffs, but Inter lost to Bari. So all of the 6 former big clubs stay in the 2nd division for season 3. Season 3 in Italy has come to an end, lads, and it was Atalanta once again, followed by Fiorentina and a surprising Salernitana in 3rd. Torino rounded off the top 4. I have a feeling, though, some of these other teams, they're kind of closing the gap to Atalanta and Fiorentina, and we are gonna have different winners. And the Coppa Italia was won by Fiorentina in season 3, yeah, over Sassuolo 2-1. While the Champions League had an English winner, it was Liverpool that beat Real Madrid on penalties 3-0. Now, what about in Serie B? Well, again, we had Inter and Napoli and Juventus make it to the playoffs. Now, I wonder if any of them came out and got promoted. But again, the answer is no. It was Frosinone over Modena. Inter and both Napoli went to the semifinals, but they ultimately both lost, and Juventus, they lost in the quarterfinals. And so again, for the 4th season, we won't have any of the former big 6 in the top division. Let's go to season 4. Season 4 is in the books, lads, and it was again Fiorentina that won in Serie A, but Spezia came in 2nd, Atalanta in 3rd, and Cremonese in 4th, while Salernitana rounded off the top 5. Those smaller clubs are starting to close the gap. And Fiorentina in season 4 did the double, and again over Spezia 1-0. They won the Coppa Italia. While in the Champions League in season 4, it was a French and German final. It was PSG over Borussia Dortmund 2-1. But in Serie B, we have a first former big 6 that is getting promoted back up to Serie A, and it is Inter Milan alongside with Palermo. And we also have Lazio and AC Milan who finished in a playoff, so one of those 2 could possibly get promotion. While the other ones, Juventus finished in 12th, Napoli in 13th, and Roma, they've just been atrocious, haven't they? They finished all the way down in 17th. And in the playoffs, we are gonna have another former big 6 join Inter Milan in the top division of Italian football, and it is Lazio. Lazio is coming back up, guys. Now, I do want to mention that I've been trying to control pretty much any random team that I could possibly find in Serie B, and this season it had to be Lazio. That's the job that I was offered, but I'm not playing any games, I promise. So let's go to season 5 and see how Inter Milan and Lazio do in the top division. 7. We are halfway through. Season 5 is done in Italy, and it was once again Fiorentina on 77 points and Atalanta in second on 71 points. I mean, teams are starting to close the gap. They're trying to close the gap. Like Bologna finished in third on 69 points, but they're just not catching up to Fiorentina or Atalanta. And if you wanted to know how Lazio and Inter did in Serie A in their first season, well, they both got relegated. They finished 19th and 20th. Back down they go. But in the Coppa Italia in season 5, we finally had a different winner and a different final. It was Monza over Bologna. Monza won the Coppa Italia. Let's go. While the Champions League in season 5, it was Real Madrid over the German giant Bayern Munich 1-0. But what about in the second division? We still had 4 teams left over down there. How did they do? Well, let me tell you that Juventus and AC Milan made it into a playoff. We're gonna have to see if they got promoted or not. While Napoli finished in 10th and Roma, well, they just been terrible, haven't they? They finished all the way in 18th in the second division. We are at the start of season 6, and we wanted to find out if AC Milan or Juventus got into the top division, into Serie A. Well, only one of them could get in, and it was AC Milan. AC Milan is the third team to come back up. But now the question is, can they stay there and come back to their winning ways? Let's go to the end of season 6 and find out. Season 6 is finally over, and for the third season in a row, it was Fiorentina that were crowned Italian champions. Spezia in second. They've been having quite a decent run. They just haven't won anything. Atalanta in third. Monza all the way in fourth, which is nice to see. And Sampdoria rounded off the top 5. And Fiorentina did the double in season 6. 3-0 over a surprising finalist in Parma. Nice to see Parma in a final again. While the Champions League in season 6 was won by Manchester United over Athletic Club Bilbao. That is a random final if I ever seen one. Man United won a Champions League. But what about AC Milan after getting promoted? Were they able to stay up? Well, no. They weren't. They were awful. They were not good at all. They finished dead last. They only won 3 matches the entire season out of 38 and finished on 17 points. Back down to CDB they go. And in CDB, lads, we had Napoli trying to make some strides. They made it to a playoff, and so did Juventus. But did either of them get promoted? And the answer is no. In the final, Como absolutely annihilated Napoli 7-0 on aggregate. 7-0. So unfortunately for season 7, we're not gonna have a single former Big Six up in the top division of Italian football. Not one. Season 7 has come to an end, and it was Atalanta this time instead of Fiorentina. But Fiorentina dropped all the way down to 4th. And Bologna almost won it. They were tied on points. We almost had a different winner in Serie A besides Atalanta and Fiorentina. They were so close. But in the Coppa Italia, lads, we actually had a different winner and a different final. It was Spezia that won over Monza 2-1. But I also want to point out that a former Big Six, Inter Milan, who's still in the second division, made it to the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia in season 7. While the Champions League in season 7, this is the most ridiculous and random thing I've ever seen in my entire lifetime. West Ham United, lads, over Bayern Munich 3-0. West Ham United won the Champions League. What? And in CDB, lads, we had one former Big Six that did make the playoffs, and it was a surprising Roma. Roma was at the bottom of CDB this entire video, but they finally made the playoff. But did they get promoted? And the answer is no. They lost to Frosinone in the semi-final, and it was Modena that ended up getting promoted to the top. Let's go to season 8. Season 8 is over, and it's again Fiorentina. It's just been dominated by Atalanta and Fiorentina, hasn't it? Parma, though, a surprising second. Bologna in third. Spezia in fourth. Atalanta dropped all the way down to 5th. And Fiorentina again did the double in season 8. They won the Coppa Italia over Cremonese 2-1. But it's nice to see Cremonese in a final of a Coppa Italia. While in the Champions League in season 8, lads, again, another surprising final. Bayer Leverkusen over Monaco. Yeah. Bayer Leverkusen won the Champions League. And in the second division in season 8, we had 3 of the former Big Six in a playoff. Napoli, Roma, and Inter. Did any of them get promoted? The answer is yes, lads. It was Napoli. Napoli is going back up to Serie A to the top. So let's go to season 9 and see if Napoli can actually stay up. Well, it took 9 full seasons, but we finally have a different winner aside from Atalanta or Fiorentina in season number 9. Cremonese, they won the Italian League League, they won Serie A. Bologna in second, Fiorentina in third, Spezia in fourth, Atalanta all the way down in eighth, though. Cremonese, though. Let's go. This is amazing. And we had a different winner in the Coppa Italia and a different final. It was Sampdoria that won the Coppa Italia 2-1 over Salernitana. The Champions League in season 9, it went back to Manchester City 3-1 on penalties over PSG. And in Serie B in season 9, again, 2 of the former Big Six made the playoffs, although they finished in 7th and 8th in Roma and Juventus. And Juventus for season number 10 will be playing in Serie A, the top division of Italian football. They won the playoff promotion final. So let's go to the final season and hopefully Juventus can stay up. The final season, season 10 is over, lads. And again, we had a different winner in the top division of Italian football. Torino won Serie A, Atalanta in second, Sassuolo in third, and Palermo rounded off the top 4. Where is Fiorentina, by the way? Fiorentina, they finished all the way in 15th in season 10. And if you're wondering how Juventus did after they got promoted, well, they didn't do very good. They only won 2 matches out of 38, got relegated, and finished on 13 points. Someone in the comments let me know what is the lowest amount of points total in Serie A. Does Juventus break that? Because 13, like, that's atrocious. But the Coppa Italia in season 10 was won by Atalanta over Bologna 8-7 on penalties. And in the Champions League, Man City went back to the Champions League final in season 10, but they lost on penalties to PSG. While in Serie B in season 10, we had 2 former Big Six clubs again qualify for the playoffs in Napoli and Roma. How did the other ones do? Well, Milan finished in 19th, Inter in 18th, and Lazio in 16th. But neither of the 2 clubs got promoted. So there you have it, lads. 10 seasons without the Big Six in Italian football in the top division. And it was really dominated by Atalanta and Fiorentina, wasn't it? We did have some nice winners later on in Cremonese and Torino. And also we had some funny Coppa Italia winners. We had Monza win it, Spezia win it, Sampdoria win it, and we had an unreal Champions League winner in West Ham United. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay happy and stay healthy, my friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, also let me know down in the comments if you have any other cool ideas that you want to see on the channel. All right, talk to you guys soon. Peace.